G'day, my name's Chris Walker, and today I'd like to talk to you about understanding emotion. When we're born balanced. We have good emotions and we have negative emotions. We have a good side to us and a bad side to us. We are a balanced human being. We cause other people discomfort by pooping in our nappy and whatever, and we cause other people comfort by smiling and making gurgling noises. Therefore, we consider ourselves to be loved. We flow between those positive and negative emotions seamlessly. Therefore, we don't have a preference for being a better or a worse person, a nicer or a gooder person, or whatever. We consider ourselves to be loved. That's the unconditional love of a parent. Very soon, however, that parent says, if you be good, I'll love you more. If you be bad, I'll love you less. If you be good, you're a better person. If you be bad, you're a worse. Whether it's through religious or social conditioning, we start to develop a sense of a better me and a worse me. The model is really messed up. What it does eventually, it breeds a sense of how can I be more gooder and therefore attract more love in my life than bad. Than I would as a bad person. And the definition of good and bad is also very fickle, because even a terrorist thinks that they are being a better person by being a terrorist than they are being a nice person. So eventually, however, this good person experiences bad things and starts to realize that they're not quite as authentic as they thought they would. And what they do is they hide this other person. This is called a public and a private persona. We develop a conscious self, the one we show everybody, the frontal body, the one that wraps itself in clothes that we feel comfortable in, the one that has a breast implant, or the one that displays to everybody how successful we are by driving around in a Porsche. This is the upper me, the emotionally high, the emotionally good, and we've hidden from view and pretended, whether it's through our religious teaching or through our subconscious denial, that we don't have the dark side. This is not really true. The dark side is existing, and this nature's law around the dark side says what we judge in ourselves, in other words, the dark side of ourselves, the part that's not lovable, the part that our parents said wasn't good, the part that our schoolmates ridiculed, and the part that we hid, we breed it in our children, we attract it in a partner, or become it in our later life. So eventually, the whole self, the whole who we are, gets put on display. Sometimes we like that, and we get over it and we grow as an individual. Sometimes we don't, and we end up in what they call bipolar, or self-trauma, or in divorce, or in breakup. So the healthy individual will have uppers and downers and treat them with the same level of value. The healthy person will feel right sometimes, they'll feel wrong at other times, and treat them with the same value. The healthy person emotionally will have the same attraction to pleasure as they do to pain, and there's not too many people therefore that have a healthy emotional balance in their life. Most of us are seeking uppers, pleasures and righteousness, running away from wrong, being wrong, having a downer or pain, thinking that pain, downers and wrong are not lovable, not worthy of love, not interested, not attractive, not good in the world. Therefore we end up trying to be better than other people, and we feel totally crappy if we feel worse than other people. This is the emotional roller coaster that in its extreme sends people mad, but in its less extreme sends people into all sorts of mischievous behavior. Ultimately, this emotional split up results in four things. The first is addiction to alcohol, drugs, coffee, whatever it is that keeps us in uppers and avoids our downers. It keeps us in affairs. Affairs are places that we can go where we only know a person for a short time a week, and in that period of time that we're having the fling, we're only presenting to them the upper, they're only presenting to us the upper, and therefore we feel fan-bloody-tastic because we don't even have to testify to our downside. We get all spiritual. Spirituality is a place where people go typically to celebrate their nice self, their angelic self, their sweet self, their good self, their better self, their right self, and their pleasureful self, seeking bliss, grace, and all the other what are mistakenly called spiritual qualities, but are really just emotional highs. Finally, we get addicted to food and obesity. And most people in the obesity department are running away from the downside of their emotion by stuffing things down their throat so they don't have to feel them. Ultimately, therefore, there are only really two negative states of mind or negative emotions, or there are only really two emotions, full stop. The fear of the future, which is bred by the fact that we don't want to experience the negative states of life that we are trying to avoid. So we fear the future and for those states arriving in our life. And we have guilt about the past because in the past we have felt those negative states of emotion. We've felt them towards others. We've reacted and done things that we wish we hadn't. That's remorse. And it all comes from simply trying to be more lovable. So it goes sort of like this. We have an upper side, we have a downside, we have a line in between the two, and we have positive and negative states of mind. We have the balance of emotion. Many people go to religious places or try and hibernate in family cultures or hide in corporate environments to reveal that they only have an upside. Sadly for those people, when they go home at night, they're abusive, their relationship's not as good as it could be, or they get manic depression and use all sorts of pharmaceuticals to overcome it. So really, we are balanced in emotion whether we like it or not. There are those who want to be higher than everybody else, but sadly for those people, for every higher than everybody else they have, they'll be witnessing deep inside their privacy a sense of lower than everybody else. So that's called self-esteem ups and self-esteem downs. Then there's another state of mind, which is quite a fantastic one, which is to say that I can rise as a human being into a state of consciousness which has less emotion but more gratitude. In other words, we have positive emotion, negative emotion. We don't judge ourselves as harshly negatively. We don't judge ourselves as harshly positively, and therefore we don't have such swings or vacillations of emotion. The person down the bottom of the consciousness tree has huge swings of emotion. They think they're better than everybody else one minute, and they know they're not the next, and that really, really can piss a person off. So they swing backwards and forwards. The other extreme is schizophrenia, where we say, I hate myself, there's a part of me so bad, so unlovable, that I don't even want to know it, and go into complete denial. It goes outside the mind, even the individual doesn't even know they have it. It's called schizophrenia. So there it is. The interesting thing, even more interesting about this dynamic, is not only can we have high and low gratitude, not only can we have huge emotion and low emotion, what we do have is a sense of the world in which we live, which is the vision. In a little world, extreme emotion might be okay as a 10-year-old, but as our life starts to expand and we start running businesses and having families, those emotions can become a self-encapsulating prison. And as we get bigger and bigger, we develop the need to see the world in a bigger and better way. Quite often people are stuck in those childish emotional states of right and wrong and extreme lovable and not lovable, and therefore they can't expand to live in the world that they've created for themselves, a la family growing up and business success. The other fascinating thing is, and it's written in the Bible and many other great texts, is as above, so below. So the higher we go in terms of our gratitude for life, the lower we go in the witnessing of the dark side. You can see this in the roots of a tree. There's the tree above the ground, the emotions are the lower branches. There's the tree below the ground, the depth, the height to which the tree grows measures the depth to which the branches, to which the roots must go. And that's how we develop a bigger life. We see the world as a more balanced place, and therefore we witness more darkness, we see more light. And this is a confusing state for many people. They're trying to grow big, and the way they do it is to shrink themselves down, create this huge world of positives, shrink their negatives down, and try and become an all-upper type of person, an angelic, lovely, wonderful person. The net result of that is they fall down. This is Chris Walker wishing you a wonderful, wonderful day. Be inspired. Keep your heart open in hell. Have a great day. Bye for now.